to Ignite Success, where we talk about the people, places, and projects that fire us up. I'm your host, Suzie Becker, and I'm here with Wade Hickok of Big Waves Laundromat and Patricia Rodriguez of the Rodriguez Law Center. Hi, how are you this morning, Wade?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well. Good morning, Patricia. How are you today?
Hi. Good morning.
Good. You're on the complete opposite coast from me in California, both of you. And when we think about what the East Coast and the West Coast looks like in terms of demographics, have you ever considered that you're targeting a different type of market than your counterparts perhaps on the East Coast? Let's start with you, Wade.
Gosh, it's an interesting question. I only have stores here on the West Coast. It's fun for me to travel to the East Coast and see kind of the different idea of a laundromat. I mean, there's a different idea of a laundromat on the East Coast, and I see the difference. I would look forward to going to the East Coast and replicating that, but like you said, it wouldn't be the same. It would be, the conception would be, the manifestation of a laundromat would be different on the East Coast than it would be here. It wouldn't be a carbon copy.
Isn't that curious? Same thing with the legal fields, Patricia. When we talk about different states, whether you're barred in that state or you're offering reciprocity, just because you're an attorney doesn't mean that you're able to practice or knowledgeable in every state, in every field. So tell us a little bit about what area you specialize in.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm here in California, and I do just practice in California. I passed a California bar, and you do have to pass in every state or get some kind of reciprocity. And while I went to law school in Philly and I have some experience on the East Coast, my predominant experience is here in California, where we do family law, custody, divorce, conservatorships, and personal injury, both on the plaintiff side and the defense side, dog bite cases, everything real estate, anything real estate, and sexual harassment cases, slip and falls, anytime pretty much anybody hurts each other or wants to sue each other or wants to divorce each other or wants to fight over their kids or wants to sue each other for restraining orders. Pretty much anytime they are mad at each other, they come see me.
I love that. I love how you're in the dirtiest work there is, and our friend Wade keeps things nice and clean. So from a perspective of legal background, you talked a little bit about liability. Someone in Wade's field, it's interesting because laundromats to me often seem like a place that could be an area that litigious people would want to be around. There's not like a lot of manpower supervision. Typically on the East Coast, at least, there's usually one person who's managing the entire facility. Otherwise, it's sort of left to its own devices. Does that mean, Wade, that you have lots of cameras, that there's lots of security that keeps things in your purview so that you can feel comfortable to run a chain?
Yeah, I mean, the advent of new technology has really enabled us to, like you said, I mean, I could have kind of full 360 supervision on a 4,000 square foot facility, both with cameras and even on like, cash flow and things like revenue. I can go into my phone, I can say, okay, it's 3 p.m. We've made this much money on these many machines, and my delivery service has made this many deliveries. So technology is really cool. You don't necessarily have to be at the store. It used to be you'd have to like come into the store and like literally go into the register and be like, "There's the money," and it like, how much money? It's right there. Now everything's digital, and you can just kind of log in, and you have an app, and you can kind of see what the day's going ons have been without needing to have actually been there. So
I can imagine. Is it the same for you with your billable hours these days, Patricia?
Yeah, I mean, everything's on flat fee now, and just everything's automated. Like he was saying, we have a case management system, Clio, that we use, and it just makes it so we can continuously automate things and continuously bring in technology. And I was even thinking my husband, he does drone work and he does security work with robotic dogs. And so they can even have drones out there, like monitoring their whole system and make sure that nobody is trying to do anything. But I can imagine with his laundromat, it's like, everything, you pay with those cards now. You put the money into the cards, and then the cards is what you use. So it's all digitized, like you said, and how convenient is that? In terms of liability, as long as he's using the standard of care in the industry, whatever that standard is, if he's doing what everybody else does and he's meeting that standard, then, he's not really going to face much more liability than any other company in any other field.
Sounds to me like technology has been a real game changer in all the fields across the board. So I appreciate your sharing with me a little bit of what the insight is from across the country. And I love that you've said that it's different in every environment. So where could we find you, Wade?
Where could you find me as far as like my positioning from
Online.
West Coast versus East Coast? Oh, online. Find us on our website, www.bigwaveslaundromat.com. Put a pickup and delivery order. We'll do the laundry for you, deliver it right to your doorstep. First time is 50% off.
And for someone like Patricia, who's probably working 1 million billable hours a week, that sounds like an amazing service. Where would we find the
I was actually thinking just now. I was totally thinking, I was like, oh man, I might need to connect with him and connect my husband with him. Like, man, because he uses those kind of services. So I'm like, hey, that could work for us for sure. We're pretty like local and close to each other.
And we could find Rodriguez Law Group as well online.
Yes, definitely. We're at www.attorneyprod.com. That's www.attorneyprod.com. And you can always reach us by phone at 626-888-5206.
Thank you so much, both of you, for being on today. To find out more about either Wade or Patricia, you can find us at dailynewsnetwork.com. I'm your host, Suzie Becker. Stay inspired and inspiring.